Hello everyone and welcome to Tranquil Coder. So today we will learn to serialize arrays. So for that purpose, let's go ahead and create a new Java project and we will name this serial, since we are serial. I think it's the spelling mistake, but don't worry about it. So we are going to name this project serial, and we finished the project. And now let's go ahead and right click the source folder, and then let's go to new class and name our class main, and let's go ahead and create a main method over there, and let's go ahead and click finish. So now we have our main method right here. Let's go ahead and erase this comment for now, and again let's go to our source folder, right click it, new, and go to a class, and let's name this class that is food. So okay, basically this is going to be food items, right? Okay, let's go ahead and name it food as well for simplicity, and let's go ahead and click finish. So we have created two classes. The first one is class main, and we have got our main method right here. So this is actually the starting point of our program is right here, and we have got another class of food. So let's go ahead and give two variables right there. So it's going to be private, let's say it's string, so it's going to be let's go ahead and say it's recipe first, and let's go and do second private string, and let's go and see recipe second. So we have created two string variables right in the class so that we can connect to a constructor later on. So now let's go ahead and create a constructor as well. So for that purpose, let's go ahead and get public food, and in this constructor let's go ahead and give two parameters. So string recipe, let's go ahead and say recipe 3, and let's go ahead and do this string recipe, let's go ahead and give it recipe 4. Now open the book, presses, and close it. So now we have created two constructors in this we have created two parameters in this constructor food. So now basically a constructor means the same method that you have created with the same name. I mean, that is you have used this food common in both of this function and this class, so that this is known as a constructor, and constructor are pretty much useful as well. So let's go ahead and see their use. So now let's go ahead and connect this recipe first right here with this recipe third right here. So for that, let's go into this into this method and connect recipe, let's say recipe first equals recipe third. So in a similar manner, let's go and connect this recipe second with this recipe fourth. So for that purpose, recipe second equals recipe, okay, so there's a spelling mistake right there. Okay, the recipe 4. So in this manner we have connected these two strings with these two strings, parameters right here. So now let's go ahead and give a two-string method so that we'll get a very good output right there in a very beautiful manner. So let's go ahead and create a two-string method. So what's happening? A public let's send string to string method. And so this two-string method is a special kind of method that actually returns all the string to this constructor right here. So for that purpose, let's go ahead and type return, and for simplicity, let's go recipe first, recipes are, and let's go ahead and give like this quotes, and now let's go say recipe underscore first plus, let's go ahead and say and plus recipe, let's say recipe first and recipe. Okay, it's fine now. Almost we have already connected. So let's go ahead and give a recipe 3 and then recipe 4. So it's basically the same, because recipe 4 equals to recipe 2 and recipe 3 equals to recipe 1. So I think there's a mistake right here. Okay, I forgot to put the ending statement right over there. So what is happening? Okay, sorry. I mean, it's recipe first and it's recipe second. So why is this recipe first and recipe second? Because this public string two-string method is going to take this recipe first and recipe 2 and return it to this class right here. And then this class has got a constructor, this one, which will equate recipe 3rd and recipe 4th with this recipe and this recipe. So you will understand this later on, but just think of it as we have created a food class in which we have created a constructor that the recipe 1 equals recipe 3, and this one we're just creating our recipes right here. Now let's go to our main function and let's create an array of type food. So for that purpose, let's go and type food, and let's go and give like restaurant equals, so let's go and give curly braces and new food, and let's name the recipes right here. So first one is momo, it's pretty popular in our country, so chow mein, new food, and then let's go ahead and give it something like what do you want, fries maybe, and maybe pizza as well, pizza, and let's give another as well, new food, and then let's go ahead and type for this burger, and maybe you like sandwich, as well, but don't worry about the spelling, I think it's a mistake, but don't worry about it. So now let's close this braces and end it. So what we have done here is we have created an array of type food. So this type, we have created an array of class food, type food. That means we have created an array of this food class, and this food class includes this constructor right here that set 2 recipes, that is recipe 3rd and recipe 4th, and this recipe 3rd and recipe 4th are equal to this one, so that when you get output, recipes are recipe 1st and recipe 2nd. That means the input that you have given right here will be recipes are, for the first one it will be momo and chow mein, right here momo and chow mein. So in this way, to create that type of program, we have created this array right here, and this time we have created an array in shortcut method that we have directly submitted new food in this way. And let's go ahead and create something like now let's go ahead and create try catch method, so that we don't have to do a lot of work by ourselves. Let Java do all the work. So for that purpose, we're going to use something called as object output stream. So this is used to write in files. So let's go ahead and do it. Object output stream, and let's go ahead and name this write. And so again, so this is going to be new object output stream. Let's go ahead and give new, and to put this to write in a file, we have to mention the name of file. So that let's go ahead and name the file. For that purpose, we'll use something called as file output stream, and let's go ahead and give the name of file. So this is going to be something known as, let's go ahead and this is recipe.txt file. So we're going to write this array into a file known as recipe. So for that purpose, we have used object output stream. So what this is going to do, basically we have created object output stream by the name of WRI. This is this will be used to write this this array down in this file called recipe.txt. Basically, by creating this new file output stream, we have just given the name of the file in which we are going to write this array. So let's go ahead and write the array. So for that purpose, I forgot to open the curly parenthesis right here. Let's go ahead and click enter. So now this is going to show some errors right here. This is because you haven't imported this object output stream in Java. So Java will not recognize about this one. So let's go ahead and click this arrow right here and import by double clicking here, or you can just press Control Shift I to import the statements right there. So Control Shift I to import the statements, or you can just click to that one. So now let's go ahead and click this message again, so it shows to throw declaration. We're not going to throw declaration. Basically that will just throw a declaration right here, but we have already created a try catch method, so let's go ahead and implement it. So let's go ahead and add catch clause right down below. So basically what this is actually, this will, if this will not find a file named recipe.txt, this will just throw file not found exception right here, so that we will know that there is no file named this one, but we're just creating this file right here, so that it will be created over here in our serial Java what do you call it, like it's like Java project in the source folder right here. So now let's go ahead and write the object. So to write an object, we will just use the keyword WRI, which we have created right here, and then we'll just press dot button, and then we will say write object, and then we will just give the name of object, that is restaurant right here. So let's go ahead and give it RESTAURANT, restaurant, in this way, and let's go ahead and in this. So basically this will write all the elements of this this array. So in this index, this is actually 0th index of an array. This is actually this after comma, this is second index of an array, and this after comma, this is third index of an array. So 0, 1, and 2. There are actually 3 elements over here, because the first element of array is always 0, and we have written this array into a file called recipe. So let's go ahead and run it. So it is say not serializable exception right here. You can see this is because you go to food object right here, and you will write something like that is known as implements serializable. I mean, I just press I just wrote serializable right here. I just press control space by it. It's a shortcut method actually. You will just get it later on. So this I've just implement a serializable method right here, so that it will run fine next time. And if you go to serial object, and if you right click it and go to refresh, then you will see a recipe.txt right here. That means we have successfully written all the elements of this array into recipe.txt. Now if you want to read this file, it's pretty much simple. So to read the file, we will go to the same main method right here, and inside this try catch block we will make object input stream like object output stream. Actually object output stream is used to write to files, and while the object input stream is used to read from files. So let's go ahead and give it, so object input stream, and let's say it's like re equals new object input stream, sorry, it's object input stream, and let's go ahead and give it like new file input stream stream, and let's give the same name, that is recipe.txt. So now we are done, we're good to go. So let's end here right here, and then let's go to down, one step down right here. And now it shows some kind of error, and it's because you haven't imported this object input stream. This is actually used to read from this object right here, that is this restaurant object, read from this recipe.txt file. So now we have created object input stream, and then we have told this object input stream to look at this recipe.txt by mentioning file input stream right here. That means this recipe, this object input stream, this re will basically look at this recipe.txt to find the things that we need. So let's go ahead and create a new object of type food right here. So let's go ahead and say food. Basically this will also be an array. So let's say food, let's say it will just know about it. So let's say no equals to, let's go ahead and give like food in this way, and let's say read object in this way, and let's go ahead and end it. So now if you want to import all of these statements right here, you can just press Ctrl Shift and I, Ctrl Shift and O, it's O basically, or you can just click right here and you can say, oh, it's like object, there's some mistake right here, it's a capital I, alright. So I think it's done now. So it's showing some error because there's no default reader. It's actually a read object in this way. And so some exception. So you can just throw this exception by add catch clause or to surround try in this way, and now you're good to go. So actually, when you run this file, you will not see anything here because this program will basically write the object and read the object. But if you want to see what it has read, then you have to create an enhanced for loop for that. So let's go ahead and create an enhanced for loop. So I'll say food. Let's go ahead and say display. This is basically going to display all of things to no. That means this display will keep all the things that no has got. So let's go ahead and say sysout, and let's say let's give disp y display right here. So what is this? Let's go ahead and click this exception right here, and this will say change type of display to food. Let's go ahead and double click it, and so there's no any changes actually, but still this oh, I gave it this one, but don't give that one. All right, so now let's go ahead and run this file. And before running this file, you can see another warning right here because re is never closed. And if you want to close the re after this loop, you can just say re dot close and then in this. So in this way, we have successfully created a program. So let's go ahead and run it. So if our program is correct, then we will see something like recipes are first one momo chow mein, and again recipes are fries pizza. So let's go ahead and run it. So you can see recipes are momo and chow mein. I think there's no one indentation. And now let's go ahead and run it. So as you can see, recipes are momo chow mein, recipes are fries pizza, recipes are burger and sandwich. So in this way, you can initialize an array in a text file and you can read from it. So this can be pretty much useful as you can write a number of phone numbers and forget to find the phone number. Then you can use this program to find the phone number as well. So for that purpose, we will use our next tutorial. But until then, practice this on your own. And if you don't if you find something confusing, then just let me know in the comment section below. I will try to solve it. And this was for today.